Hello students, welcome you all to the second class on transformation of sentences. As you all know that we are dealing with the rules in details. In last class we discussed about 7 rules of transformation of sentences and we dealt with the rules like interchange of active and passive voice, interchange of degrees of comparison, transformation of sentences containing the adverb to, interchange of affirmative and negative sentences, interchange of interrogative and assertive sentences, interchange of exclamatory and assertive sentences, and lastly we dealt with interchange of one part of speech for another. And today we will deal with some other rules of transformation of sentences. Now in this class we will deal with transformation of simple sentences to compound sentences. Next we will deal with transformation of compound sentences to simple sentences, transformation of simple sentences to complex sentences, transformation of complex sentences to simple sentences. Then we will do transformation of compound sentences to complex sentences and transformation of complex sentences to compound sentence. We will start our discussion with rules of transformation of simple sentences to compound sentences. A simple sentence can be converted or transformed into a compound sentence by enlarging a word or a phrase into a coordinate clause. Now let's study the following examples. Simple sentence. The teacher took the boy to task for irregular attendance. And when we will transform it into a compound sentence, the sentence will be: the boy was irregular in attendance and so the teacher took him to task. Next example, simple sentence. Being ill, he could not attend the meeting. And compound, he could not attend the meeting because he was ill. So here we are just dividing the sentence into two parts and we are just joining them with the help of conjunction. Next example, with all her wealth, she is not happy. Compound, she has much wealth but she is not happy. Simple sentence. The sun having set, they returned home. The sun set and they returned home. So the first sentence was in simple sentence and the second sentence is compound sentence. Simple sentence, notwithstanding his illness, he succeeded. Compound, he was ill, yet he succeeded. The next example, simple sentence. Besides giving the poor boy some books, he also helped him with money. And when we'll transform it, we'll get a sentence like: he not only gave the poor boy some books, but also helped him with money. So girls, I hope you have understood how to transform simple sentences into compound sentence. Now we'll see the rules of transformation of compound sentences into simple sentences. And we will study the following illustrations showing the main ways or chief ways of transforming compound sentences to simple sentences. First, they finished their work and returned home. And we will use a participle. How? Having finished their work, they returned home. Next, you must take exercise or you will not keep healthy. Here we are going to use an infinitive to change it or to transform it into a simple sentence. You must take exercise to keep yourself healthy. Compound sentence. You must be punctual or you will be punished. Now here we are going to use a phrase to transform the compound sentence to a simple sentence. Simple sentence. In the event of your not being punctual, you will be punished. Next, compound sentence. He was very poor, but he offered help to me. And in simple, in spite of being very poor, he offered help to me. So here again, we have used the phrase in spite of. Next, the last one. I called him, but he didn't respond. This compound sentence will be transformed into a simple sentence, and the sentence will be, in spite of my calling him, he didn't respond. So here again we have used the phrase in spite of in different way. So as you will practice, you will understand the rules thoroughly. Now we'll discuss the rules of transformation of simple sentences into complex sentences. A simple sentence can be converted or transformed into a complex sentence by expanding a word or phrase into a subordinate noun, adjective, or adverb clause. Now let's study the examples. First, simple. His talk was very interesting. And when we'll transform it into a complex sentence, we will use the noun clause over here. What he said. So here we are using this noun clause. What he said was very interesting. What was very interesting? What he said. His talk was very interesting. And thus we have transformed it into a complex sentence. Next example. This is my birth town. And in complex, we will write, this is the town where I was born. So girls, you can see that here the town and the town is related with the clause, with the adjective clause where I was born. So it is a relative clause, and with the help of relative clause we are changing simple sentence into a complex sentence. Next we have we eat to live. Now here girls, the complex sentence will be we eat so that we may live. Now here again we have used adverb clause. Next, I know his name. Complex, I know what his name is. We have used a noun clause here. Our next example is, do you know his time of arrival? And in complex we will write, do you know the time when he will arrive? Here we have used an adjective clause. And next, the last one is, till my arrival, wait here. And in complex sentence, we will write, wait here till I arrive. So the last one is an example of adverbial clause. With the help of adverbial clause, we have transformed the simple sentence into a complex sentence. The rules of transformation of complex sentences to simple sentence. A complex sentence may be converted to a simple sentence by substituting a word or phrase for the subordinate clause. Now let's study the examples. Complex sentence. How long it will rain is doubtful. And in simple, we will write the duration of the rain is doubtful. So how long it will rain, this clause is replaced with a phrase, the duration of the rain. Next, we hope that better days will come. Simple. We hope for better days. Complex. The teacher told the students that they should read more attentively. And in simple, the teacher told the students to study more attentively. Here we are using infinitive, to read. Next example, complex. It was a spider that saved Robert Bruce. And in simple sentence, we will simply write, a spider saved Robert Bruce. Next example. As his health is bad, he has resigned. And simple sentence. Owing to his ill health, he has resigned. And the last one. This is where I reside. This is my residence. This is where I reside. Where I reside. This phrase is simply replaced with the phrase my residence. Actually, we have used here the noun form of the verb reside. So thus we can change or convert complex sentence into simple sentences. But girls, as I have just told you for the last set of rules, that as you will practice, more, you will learn the rules more efficiently, more effectively, because until and unless you practice, you won't be able to understand it thoroughly. Now we'll discuss or we'll see the transformation of compound sentences into complex sentences. Now let's study the example. Compound sentence. Read hard and you will pass. Now here, girls, we are just using an adverb clause. If you read hard, you will pass. So that is how we have changed a compound sentence into a complex sentence. Likewise, next example, it may rain and in that case, I shall not go to school. If it rains, I shall not go to school. Here again, we have used a clause just to convert it into a complex sentence. Compound sentence. We want to leave, therefore we eat. Complex. We eat that we may live. Next one, be kind and help me. Complex. Be so kind that you may help me. Compound. Do as you are told or you will regret. And when we'll change or transform it into a complex sentence, we will write, unless you do as you are told, you will regret. Now girls, here you can see a very few examples given, but the basic rule is, with the help of noun clause or adjective clause or even adverb clause, you can transform a compound sentence into a complex sentence. Now, let's discuss the last rule of transformation of sentences, and that is transformation of complex sentence to compound sentence. Now, as you all know, that a complex sentence is consisted of a principal clause and one or more than one subordinate clause or clauses. Now, what are we supposed to do here is that we are going to replace these subordinate clause or clauses with the help of proper conjunctions. And I know that you all know by now that there are 4 kinds of conjunctions: cumulative, elative, alternative and adversative conjunctions. And with the help of any of these 4 kinds of conjunction, you are going to transform a complex sentence into a compound sentence. Now let's study the example. Example number 1. If you run, you will be in time. Compound. Run and you will be in time. Compound sentence. Complex sentence. We read that we may learn, and when we'll transform it into a compound sentence, we will write we want to learn and for that purpose we read. Next, complex. He proved that he was innocent. Compound. He was innocent and he proved it. Next example. Bad as things are, they might be worse. Compound. Things are bad and they might be worse. Complex. Unless you take care of your health, you will fall ill. And in compound, we'll write the same sentence like you must take care of your health or you will fall ill. Now girls, these have been the basic rules of transformation of sentences. The rules at times, I know, may appear to be difficult, but trust me, the one and only thing that you need to understand these rules thoroughly is nothing but practice. Practice so that you may understand the rules properly. And once you understand the rules, you will never forget them. So practice the rules and practice these exercises. Since I was talking about practicing, here are some practice materials for you. Transform the following sentences as directed. The match having ended, the spectators returned home. Simple to compound. I tried hard, but I didn't succeed. Compound to simple. To avoid arrest, he absconded. Simple to compound. He had a stout physique, but he was wanting in courage. Compound to simple. The man pleaded ignorance of the law. Simple to complex. Please tell me your name. Simple to complex. He is very rich but not happy. Compound to simple. She confessed her guilt. Simple to complex. She is not sure of her success. Simple to complex. In spite of his being poor, he does not complain. Simple to compound. Having overslept myself, I missed the train. Simple to compound. He was very learned, yet he was a fool in earthly affairs. Compound to simple. The sum was so hard that he could not do it. complex to simple. The next one, she was the first who heard the news, complex to simple. Sentence number 15. He was greatly surprised when his son failed, complex to simple. As she was my friend, I loved her, complex to compound. If you don't be quiet, you will be punished, complex to compound. I don't know what she told him, complex to compound. When at last he woke, he looked round, complex to compound. You should not go unless you are invited, complex to compound. Only those students who work hard will succeed. Turn into a simple sentence. All that glitters is not gold. Turn into a simple sentence. He always felt sleepy whenever he thought. Turn into a simple sentence. He wants that I should go. Turn into a simple sentence. We should not distrust what he said. Turn into a simple sentence. She was too frightened to go to bed again. Turn into a complex sentence. Charity begins at home. Turn into a complex sentence. Everybody hates a liar. Turn into a complex sentence. He did not believe your word. Turn into a complex sentence. The last one. Egypt was the first country to become civilized. Turn into a complex sentence. Girls, I hope that you have all enjoyed today's class on transformation of sentences. Thank you all.